For more on this, we can bring in our French politics editor, Marc Perelman. So, Marc, what are the changes we know about so far? Nothing official yet.
Nothing official yet. We're waiting for a statement from the Prime Minister's office. What we do know is that the Prime Minister will remain. Elisabeth Borne essentially was able to keep her job despite speculation that she would be replaced. Emmanuel Macron decided that for now, she will remain as the head of the government. And we were told that there would be some adjustments, some limited reshuffle. Nevertheless, what we are seeing, according to what has already transpired, is that two key ministers will change. Education and health. Those are very, very important issues. When you watch the polls, this is what the French are really preoccupied about. So the education minister, Pape Ndiaye, is on his way out. He has been he's not been comfortable. He's a historian, and he was not comfortable becoming a politician, especially in a very exposed ministry like the education ministry. He's being replaced by the current budget minister, Gabriel Attal. Gabriel Attal is a kind of wonder boy of Emmanuel Macron. He started as a junior minister. He was then a spokesperson for the government. He was, until today, budget minister. It's an important minister because it's the one dealing with the money. Now he's going to become education minister. As I just said for his predecessor, that's a risky position, but he is extremely young, 34 years old, and he's really been doing quite well in all the ministries. Let's see how he will perform. Another change at the health ministry, François Braun, who is himself coming from the medical world, has not been able to really gain a foothold in this ministry. We know there are lots of problems post-COVID, many people resigning, many people are not happy with their salaries, with their working conditions. He's being replaced, and this is a surprise, by the outgoing chief of staff of the Prime Minister, Aurélien Rousseau. We understood he was on his way out. He was a bit tired of being a chief of staff of the Prime Minister, which is a very, very difficult position. But he was, prior to becoming chief of staff, the head of the regional health agency here in the Paris region during the COVID crisis. So he knows the health ministry. He knows the problems there are, and so he's going to become the new health minister. We understand also that the whip of Macron's parliamentary group in the National Assembly, Aurore Berger, will become Minister of Solidarities. So we're waiting for a few other appointments, but what we can already see is that those are deeply political appointments. Those are politicians, professionals, because Emmanuel Macron felt that those people, like the education minister, the health minister, which came from the education world, from the health world, were good professionals in their own worlds, but could not perform as well in government, where it's a whole different kind of job. So he's going back to basics, putting politicians in key government positions.
So these are significant changes, but not a major reshuffle as some had wanted, especially the protesters in the streets. What does this say about Macron's response to what we've seen, happen in the country in recent weeks?
Well, clearly, this is not going to change the perception of the French. They might not even know who the outgoing ministers were, and not know who the incoming ministers are. This is not going to change. First of all, it's the summertime here in France. This is probably also why Emmanuel Macron felt that a major reshuffle, especially with a new prime minister, was not the right moment to do this. It's also because he doesn't really have a clear political message. He was supposed to speak around Bastille Day. This has been postponed. We're being told he's going to speak, maybe an interview to maybe some magazines, regional press, or so on. We don't know yet, because he's heading to the Pacific Ocean area very soon. But he doesn't have many things to say. He might save his powder for September, when things might become more difficult. Maybe October, when there are European Parliament elections, because then he might say, okay, I'm going to turn the page, have something else to offer, because he felt right now this would be essentially wasting a political bullet to change Prime Minister, to change tack. He's hoping that things will calm down in terms of social protest, the unrest we've seen in many suburbs of French cities during the summer.
Okay, French politics editor Marc Perelman. Marc, thanks as always for sorting through all of that for us.